And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day in studio. Your consumer advocate here, Brandon Rhymes, your host of the show, and it's all about you, our radio show listening audience there, our TV show as well on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku. Just search up Binge Networks. It's great to be back here in studio, helping you understand more about your buying decisions, serving as your consumer advocate right here in the Tampa Bay area. And we're 5 o'clock drive time, 1380 The Biz weekend show, FM 102.5 The Bone. Check us out on Sunday mornings. And then, of course, we're syndicated now. A lot of content out there on all types of social media as well. The goal of the show is to be your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions. We bring in local and national experts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show for the past 6 years on air. And it's all about you. We want to help you win. Now, we want you to save our hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it. You're going to hear some great information today that you want to probably act on or have someone maybe in your family that could utilize this information. So save our hotline number, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And make sure you bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, submit an email form. Previous shows are up there as well. And it's just a great place that you can get a lot of resources here. And we've had an uptick in calls lately. We appreciate everybody that's reaching out to the show, texting, calling, emailing. Lots of ways that we can help you be that resource here. You'll hear a lot of things about real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, insurance services today. And we're going to get a beach update as well from Clyde Smith. He's the general manager of the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, coming right up in just a moment here. But I wanted to update you about a home show coming into town. We got Tampa Home Show, free admission to all coming up. It's the Tampa Convention Center, 333 South Franklin Street in Tampa. It's presented by East Coast Consumer Shows. And we're going to be there. I know, Rob, your crew going to be there. All you guys, John Gaston, the crew from Tampa Bay Multimedia is going to be there. And come check out our booth. We're going to be there as well. We got a double booth. Tampa Home Show, August 17th and 18th. That's Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 6, 11 to 5. And it's going to be a great time. Tampa Convention Center is right downtown Franklin Street. And it's a home show, Tampa Home Show. Come out and say hello to our team. We're going to have a lot of our expert contributors at our booth there. So that's coming up. And let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. We got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group. Welcome back, Scott.
Oh, it's good to be back, Brandon.
Yeah, man.
It's an exciting time right now with interest rates and all the things that are happening in the market. So I'm excited to catch you up on some of the products that we're working with, and hopefully pass on some good information to the folks out there.
Awesome. Yeah, good stuff, man. I love it. Some really good things happening in the market. Just took a big listing on the beach yesterday, $719,000 listing on Clearwater Beach. Every time I visit that area, it's just gorgeous. I'm like, wow, this is paradise right here. You know, for less than $1 million, live close to the beach like that, right there, close to, Hulk Hogan's your neighbor, just a couple of doors down. Pretty cool. We got Doug Levi back in studio as well. Welcome back in, sir.
Happy to be here, Brandon. Excited to be here, man. We're going to talk a little bit about how to save money on your auto insurance.
Auto insurance.
So I'm going to tease that out a little bit, and we're excited about being here.
Nice, yeah. And Strategic Insurance, TampaBayInsurance.com, full service, home, auto, property casualty, all that good stuff as well. So, and then on the phones, we got Clyde Smith. He's the general manager of our official hotel partner, the Bilmar Beach Resort. Welcome in, Clyde.
Thank you much, Brandon. Appreciate you having me back on. So I'm not able to be there in person, but we're busy with the last of our summer guests right before school gets back.
Nice. Yeah, I love it. And we had a great time over there at the bartender event. That was a fun time.
That was a really good time. We had 5 great bartenders. So glad Carlton from Sarasota won. He's a former Sloppy Joe's employee, but that didn't affect the judging at all. But that was a really good time out there. We're looking to do it again, maybe right after Standing Ovations, the November Sand Sculpture event, so that there's a double reason to come out. One for the bartending at Sloppy Joe's, and then the other for the great sand sculptures that'll be up there.
Yeah, that's such a cool. I love those sand sculptures. That's really neat to see that, and that was a fun event. I heard people talking about that the whole weekend.
Good. Yeah, we had a good time. A little warm when it started, but we had something to cool us off, didn't we?
We did. We sure did. Yeah, it was a great time. And when we think about Bilmar Beach Resort, what do you want people to think about, our listeners, our viewers out there of our TV show side? What's the overarching theme?
I think the overall theme is that we keep that traditional beach getaway all the way back to what our parents and our grandparents did, but in a totally modern atmosphere with the new rooms and the both restaurants and everything there is to do in the Treasure Island area. So you kind of get the best of both. You step back, a little bit of a retro feel, and of course our great beach, but at the same time you're in a room with fully modernized, beautiful beach chic design, and you still got your Wi-Fi and everything you need. So it's the best of both, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And it's such a cool area to be in. I mean, your close proximity to downtown. If you wanted to catch a concert or something might be going on downtown, there's just so much to do here in the greater Tampa Bay area. So we always talk about, that local staycation. I think you get a lot of people from Tampa or maybe up from Sarasota for the weekend for those staycations. But then, of course, the long-term vacations, the folks coming from the Northeast or Midwest, wherever they're coming from. Great place.
Yeah, what we see a lot of people do is the family will come and they'll stay here and they'll staycation while their family's vacationing and really just have a great time. We start a lot of traditions that way, and then they make it an annual thing. And we're school starting back tomorrow, so all you drivers, be careful in the mornings. Kids are out there. But also that opens up the other synonymous with that is our resident rates for Pinellas and Hillsborough. This year we're including Hillsborough in our resident rates, and that's usually up to 25% off of our regular rate. So we know it's a great time for people to get away. And it's just a better time. Beaches are going to be less crowded, pools are less crowded, so it's time for our locals to take over the beach again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Clyde Smith. He's the general manager over at the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Also, Sloppy Joe's right on site. You got the restaurant right there, the beach bar. So many amenities to go through. Can we run down the list of amenities that you have there, Clyde?
Gosh, just with every room, it's included. You get an hour of kayak and paddleboard a day. We have bicycles. You have your beach chairs. Gosh, we have all sorts of things. I don't know if you've seen the new candy bar we have in the lobby, but also like 4 or 5 different types of candy you can get from noon until midnight, and 3 o'clock cookies that come out. Both swimming pools, of course, and the hot tub, workout rooms, so you don't have to get away from that while you're getting away. Both restaurants were real excited for the cafe. We have Chef Terry now came over from Gulfport, Terry Reverse, and he's rolling out new menus. We just sampled the breakfast menu last week, and shrimp and grits are going to be on the menu and all sorts of wonderful things. He's got great flavors. And then right after that, he's going to roll out a new dinner menu. So we're going to start having, I'm not going to call it fine dining because we're still toes in the sand, but quality dining in the cafe with, beef tips and crusted grouper, just wonderful things that Chef Terry's going to bring to the table for us.
Wow, yeah, that sounds really good. Now, also for the businessmen and women out there, this is a great time. You have convention space, you have rooms for meeting rooms. This is something that they can take advantage of as well.
We do, and it's a great time to do that, especially midweek. We get rates as low as $109 midweek versus the $229, $259, during the other seasons. Mm-hmm. And our 2,800 square foot ballroom, we just had a wonderful chamber casino event in there with 200 of our local chamber members. That went over really well. So we can do from small meetings. We did a training yesterday for 20 people up to 200 in reception style. So very flexible. Our penthouses are great for smaller meetings or breakouts. And then we have 2 other meeting rooms in addition to that. So lots of variety. We're very creative with menus and really can accommodate almost any request out there. And holiday parties, a lot of the good Saturdays are booked up, but daytime lunch meetings for holiday parties are coming up too, so that's another opportunity to get away.
That's right, man. Gosh, the year's flown by. It's right around the corner.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And Clyde, I've traveled the world. I've been to a lot of different hotels, and what I love about the Bilmar Beach Resort is the staff. They're just so friendly. They know me by name now, so it's Mr. Rhymes, and it's if I ask for something's at, a lot of times they don't just point to the area. They actually walk me there. Oh, let me show you where it's at. I mean, that next level of service is really evident that you've done a great job with your staff.
With a wonderful team. They truly have a spirit of hospitality, and a lot of it's due to longevity. They've been here a long time. They know what our standards are, and I'm here 13 years as general manager, and to some of them I'm still the new guy on the block. There's people that have been here up to 32 years.
Wow.
Our banquet manager, my assistant's been here 28. Kim Lasky. So a lot of people out there that got married under Kim. She was our wedding coordinator before I moved her over to operations. So
oh, wow.
It's a great team. I'm very, very fortunate. They make my job much easier.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we always want to have the listeners or the viewers book directly, right? Because I know there's a lot of confusion out there, all these different sites that claim to have cheaper pricing. Booking direct is still the best option.
It absolutely is, for a couple of reasons. I mean, we have our travel partners. They're great, but we do guarantee the best rate is on our website, BilmarBeachResort.com. But also, you're welcome to call us. Again, we were just talking about our staff. They'll walk you through what you're looking to accomplish. We have many different room types. 90% of them are Gulf front, but then you have some with kitchens, some with balconies, some without. And so we can talk you through what your goals of your visit are and make sure you get into the right thing. Some wonderful suites if you're going to be sitting in the room a little bit. Football season's coming. We have 55-inch TVs or larger, so we're ready for that.
Nice. What's your prediction for the Bucs this year, Clyde?
I think we're going to be better than last year.
Okay. There you go. That's a safe way to put it, right?
Yeah, hopefully Jameis will bring us together with a great team, and hopefully we'll give him the right blocking he needs.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, good stuff. Clyde Smith, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you,
Thanks so much
man.
for having me back on. We look forward to seeing you back out here. And again, everyone, just call us and let us know where you're from. We'll give you the best rate we can find for you.
That's right. And the website, BilmarBeachResort.com.
.com. Don't fall for the fake ones.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Thanks
a
Clyde.
lot, everyone. Have a great day.
Take care, man. You as well. All right, when we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. We're going to jump directly into some real estate and mortgage talk, kind of let you know what's happening in the market. And then we're going to talk with Doug Levi as well, Strategic Insurance, talking about protecting your assets and ways that you can actually save money when it comes to your auto insurance. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short timeout. Don't go anywhere.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace, helping our buyers, sellers, and investors win in their negotiations. I actually teach negotiation now at GTAR and Pro. Those are the two realtor boards in Tampa, and we're helping our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties. Got a hot new listing on 861 Mandalay. This property was just listed yesterday, so it just hit the market. 861 Mandalay Avenue. And we have temporary pictures in place, but we're getting updated pictures in the next couple of days. 861 Mandalay Avenue, right on Clearwater Beach. So literally 200 feet, and you are on the beautiful sugar sand beaches of North Clearwater Beach. So you walk over to the beach, you hang out for the day, you walk back home, you got an outdoor shower there. This is a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, and more pictures to come. And it's just a great opportunity to own right in one of the best areas in Tampa Bay, right on the beach. And a couple doors down, you've got celebrities, Hulk Hogan, and some of those folks living in that neighborhood there. So Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach, hot new listing from PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Also, Schooner is another property that we have in Tampa. This property on Schooner Way is a gorgeous home. This is completely remodeled. My wife, Lindsay, is a real estate agent on our team. She's also a feng shui expert and interior design expert. So she was hand picking the different interior design options for this property. Waterfront on the freshwater canal with the boat dock, leads out to the bay. So you've got bay access here. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. 33615 is the zip code. I used to live in this zip code for a long time. You're literally 5 minutes from the airport. I mean, this is perfect for the business owner that wants to be able to commute and access the airport as well. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of your real estate needs. All right, and this segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill, our official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Lucky Dill Restaurant. They've got a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and it's much more than just sandwiches. They've got great entrees, soups, salads. Of course, the deli is awesome as well. Home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn is the Lucky Dill Deli. Online at luckydilldeli.com. They've got a location in Tampa on Boy Scout Boulevard, right across the street from the mall there. And also in Palm Harbor, they've got a location on US 19 in Palm Harbor. So check them out. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group coming up. Doug Levi as well, Strategic Insurance here in studio. So Scott, we talk a lot about the market, but really, man, we live in the best Tri-City area. I talk about Palm Harbor, Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. What a great place to live, work, and play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just showed that wonderful house right there on the beach. You can't beat that. We can do that every weekend. We joke, around work, with people that we deal with up north that, we live where people come to vacation.
Exactly.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. And, there's a little bit of everything here. And if you can't find something you don't like, that you do like rather, then something's probably wrong with you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So when you think about where we're at sitting here, great market for investors. Investors
Absolutely.
can buy up to 4 units with the conventional type of loan product. Mm-hmm. Great primary residence opportunities too.
For sure. That was one of the things I was going to mention today is that I've been getting a lot of calls from folks wanting to purchase a home as their first home, but they want to be able to turn it into an investment.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Smart move.
We can certainly, do that down the road. And there's as long as you're going to, reside in the property before. But one of the things that has really gained a lot of interest is people looking at some of these multi-unit properties, like a 2-unit or a 4-unit or a triplex, because you can purchase that as a primary residence where you're going to reside in one of the units, and you can rent out the other 3 and still use like an FHA loan with, 3.5% down.
I love that play.
And you can do it with a VA loan with, no money out of pocket if you're, a qualified veteran.
Yeah.
So, there's some really great opportunities if you want to think long term and really jump into the, to the real estate investing and the, rental properties.
Yeah.
It's a great way to do it. Of course, you got to reside in the property, as part of the agreement for being able to take that, low down payment loan. But if it's your first place, that's a good way to, to get into something, or even if you're, moving from one house to another, depending on the sizes of the, the property, it has to make sense there.
Question for you on that. Is there a specific time, like are you signing a mortgage saying I'm going to live in here for 6 months, a year? Is it typically in that range?
It's, typically 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Some of the mortgages are, technically, you agreed to reside there and you did.
Yeah.
But in most cases, you're talking 6 months to a year.
Yeah. And it would be virtually impossible for them to come back, you moved at month 9. And, so the idea, because I've heard this scenario play out. There's actually a veteran that I heard of that I believe he was in California, because it was from my friends from the Real Estate Radio Network out in San Diego, California area that I heard it from. But long story short, bought multiple properties, quads, triplexes, duplex. And then he would move from this one and say, well, I'm going to move to this one now, rent that one out. And then he still had his VA certificate. I think it might even have been a veteran that did it. But you talk about building wealth over time.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're following the guidelines, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
You can't have more than one FHA loan at a time. You can't have more than one VA loan at a time.
Okay.
So, you'd have to either sell the other one and upgrade or buy something different. But, if you're talking about buying something, that's the other thing to consider too, is that, you're buying something that's going to appreciate that much faster because it's multi-unit.
Right.
And so it wouldn't be long to where if you wanted to use that VA or that FHA loan down the road, that you could potentially refinance into a conventional loan.
Right.
But the loan to value difference on a conventional loan, even if buying it as a primary residence, you have to have 25% down. As an investment property, usually, 25 to 30%. I think it's 30% for a, 4-unit property. So it's a good way to, utilize a loan program that's out there, to help you, but, also, think a little bit more long term right up front.
Yeah. Let's just pick a number, for example, like a $500,000 property. Where else can you leverage $500,000, let's just say a 3% down payment for $15,000, right? So you use a $15,000 down payment, you buy a $500,000 asset, and let's just assume, and it's pretty safe assumption over the last few years, properties are going to appreciate between 3 to 6% a year. So now you add that into the equation, you get tenants that are paying for the other 3 sides of that quadplex. You live in one side, you got 3. Man, you're basically living rent free at some point, right?
Oh, probably right away.
Yeah.
Because if you figure your quadplex, let's just assume that they're all 2-bedroom, 2 baths, for argument's sake, and they all would rent for $1,500 a month.
Right.
Which is about average.
Very fair.
And so you figure you've got $4,500 a month coming in. Your mortgage, even if you spent $500,000, your mortgage is going to be under that amount.
Yeah.
And so therefore, maybe you're kicking in a little bit.
Yep.
But chances are, if you're smart, what you do is you pay your $1,500 towards it as well, and just really knock down that balance, and then you've got $4,500 coming in every month, as income that you don't have to spend.
Right. Especially today's rates. I mean, we're looking at 40 to 50 year lows again. We're back down at almost rock bottom. Yeah. If you just joined us, we're talking with Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group. Check out scottkepler.com and a word on rates.
Rates are awesome. I mean, they're. I think last I heard this week we're at like a 3-year low. So they've been a little bit dramatic. Yeah. Ups and downs, pretty big spikes. Yeah. As you see my finger fly through the camera if you're watching us on TV. But so yeah, your rates are great, and that's why we're seeing a huge influx of people wanting to take advantage of some of these opportunities, because now that $500,000 property that maybe didn't cash flow, now it does because of the difference in the interest rate.
Now, let me ask you a question about that. You saw that Mandalay property I just listed, 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach, $719,000 list price, goes under contract at $715 for argument's sake.
Right.
That's a jumbo.
That's
What's
a
the
jumbo
difference?
loan. So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked, actually, because we have loan programs that are available where you get the conventional, what we call a conventional high balance loan, which are typically only available in high cost areas. Really, the only area in Florida is down in the Keys and a couple really small sub areas in Miami and so on. But most of the U.S. is under the same cap, which is, I think it's 484, 350 or something like that.
Yeah.
But with this program, you can do 10% down up to, I want to say it's 728 loan amount with no MI, and you get the same rate that you would get with the conventional loan.
Sounds like a pretty solid deal. Reach out to Scott Kepler, scottkepler.com. Support your local economy right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we'll be right back after this short break. Coming up, we got Doug Levi in the house, as well as entire airport comes to a halt to honor returning Vietnam veteran. Stay with us on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Levi on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back here, Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our number one goal, is to be your consumer advocate, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to invite you over to the Tampa Home Show on August 17th and 18th. That's a Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 6 and 11 to 5. It's going to be over at the Tampa Convention Center. Great operation. East Coast Consumer Shows does a great job with that. The website is tampahomeshow.com, and it's free admission for folks that reach out. We can hook you up with some tickets here. Tampa Home Show, August 17th and 18th, 11 to 6, 11 to 5 at the Tampa Convention Center. We're going to be there. We have a double booth there. A lot of our expert contributors are going to be in the house. So a lot of free, prizes and giveaways and just great information for homeowners and folks that are looking to get into home ownership. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job here in Tampa Bay and beyond. They're from a local or a long-distance move. They've got a Google rating of 4.6, 4.5 on Yelp, A rating on Angie's List, as well as the Better Business Bureau. And they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're back here in studio. I want to talk to you about a property that I've got listed in Boy Scout Road in Odessa. This is a $2.5 million property of mine. It's a great listing that we have on a freshwater lake. Check out that beautiful view. Compliments of Fabre Frameworks, our official real estate photographer. They do a great job. So this property was a nursery for many years, and now it's going to be set up as 2 5-acre parcels, home sites, estate-style home sites, and one of the best zip codes, one of the highest dollar per capita income-wise zip codes in the Tampa Bay area, 18117 Boy Scout Road in Odessa, and the other road is Burrell, so it's also Burrell Road as well, but it's the same 10 acres, 18150 Burrell Road, Odessa, right off of Tarpon Springs Road. So if you're ever cutting through from Odessa to Del Mabry or over to East Lake area of Tarpon Springs, you'll be able to see these properties. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we got Doug Levi in the house, Strategic Insurance. Today, you wanted to talk about a little bit more of a focus on how to lower auto insurance.
Yeah. Thanks again, Brandon. Always excited to be back. And last few times we kind of talked about hurricane season and getting prepared for that. But I wanted to share with the listeners today something that we've seen in the last few years. It's a really good way for people to save money, and that's they have they're called usage-based driving. Okay. And these are little gizmos normally that you either plug into your car or that you can get an app on your phone for. You see a lot of commercials for them probably.
I've heard of that now.
Different companies will call them Drive and Save. Progressive, which is one of the carriers we work with, who's very, very competitive right now. They really pioneered it years ago and called the snapshot discount. So, I've been in the business 15 years, and for years we always would get, well, I don't understand. My rates are so expensive. I'm such a good driver. Well, now it's an opportunity to kind of show how good you are. And so here's what these do. They, first off, people get a little concerned. Oh, they're tracking me. They don't have any GPS recognition in them, but what they do is they see how fast you're going, your average speed, the number of hard brakes you do.
Wow.
Okay. And then the average time of day you're driving. Those are really the big 3 things they're looking at, right? And so for people that are saying, again, I'm a good driver, I don't, I'm not, speeding up to the light and slamming on my brakes, and
right.
I'm not on the road at 3 a.m. every night. What we're finding with a lot of our clients can save anywhere from 10 to 30%.
Cool.
And a lot of the carriers will give you a discount up front just for doing it. Right. So definitely, again, you can certainly come to our website, tampabayinsurance.com. We're certainly happy to help with a review of your auto insurance. Look at any of the carriers, and almost all the carriers we have, like Nationwide and Liberty Mutual and Progressive, they all do it. But if you're with another carrier, call them, because most likely they do it now too. So
that's pretty cool. First of all, great URL, tampabayinsurance.com. That's
thanks.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
when you look at this usage-based driving,
Right.
pretty interesting. So are they? So is 3 a.m. a negative thing to be on the road? Or
Yeah,
is it
so
better?
here's the thing, and I kind of joke, the insurance companies are kind of like your mother. They you might not always agree with them, but they normally have a good reason. There's there's normally logic behind it.
Yeah.
And so what they can do is they can draw, if you think about it, it's basic form insurance, you're matching price to risk, right?
Okay.
So someone that's had more accidents, or maybe they've had a DUI, not saying anything bad about the person, but what the carriers know, they're likely to have another accident, and then that's how they predict their rate. So, they can draw and say, okay, if I'm someone who speeds a lot, does a lot of hard brakes, and I'm driving, very late at night where I could fall asleep at the wheel or something can happen, I'm likely going to be a higher risk, and I'm going to get a higher rate for that.
Got it.
If I'm not driving as much, if we kind of take the extreme on the other end, think of a lot of times when we see senior citizens where they just go to Publix and Walgreens, right?
Yeah.
We've got clients like that where they're driving less than 4,000 miles a year. There's not as much risk there,
Wow.
certainly.
Yeah.
So, and the insurance companies are gathering a ton of data.
Wow.
And by them gathering this data, again, they can really kind of refine the pricing more specific to you. So I recommend it to all of our clients. Some people don't, they don't like the idea of being monitored at some level.
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of, it's that opportunity for people who are saying, no, I am a good driver. I want a better rate, where you can now actually show
Wow.
the carrier that, and the technology's come so far where they can actually get that data very easily.
Yeah, and we're getting monitored anyways. I mean, they're looking at your debit card.
There's no doubt.
They see if you're going
Yeah.
to certain types of clubs or alcohol related venues.
There's no doubt.
They see what you're swiping.
I think Google's listening to us right now.
Yeah, hey, heck yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's kind of the information age that we live in.
Yeah.
And we've had carriers that have been doing this, again, Progressive being the first for probably, I'd say 4 or 5 years, but now almost all of them are embracing it because again, it's probably the biggest thing we're seeing right now where you can actually get a lower rate.
Yeah.
So we definitely recommend that to all the listeners out there. So call your carrier and say, hey, I heard on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and can I get a little gizmo to put in my car to see how I drive and get a discount on that?
Yeah, that's super cool. Great advice,
absolutely.
Doug. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
This is great. We're talking with Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. Again, another local company, support the local economy right here in Tampa Bay. You're based in...
So I'm in Clearwater in the Feather Sound area, so right over 275 from Tampa.
Yep.
We love seeing clients in the office. We do and recommend protection reviews with all our clients. A lot of our clients still like to come in and do that. Certainly don't have to. We do a ton over the phone and via email as well. But yeah, so we are local right in Feather Sound.
I like that idea. I really do. When you look at insurance, the homeowners, the different types of insurances we have these days, it's something that we just, it's a new renewal. We're just going to stamp it, renew it again, sign the paperwork, send it back in without really considering, hey, what's in it? What kind of policies do I have? What about hurricane deductibles?
Sure.
What about wind versus flood? You have these different concerns. So I would like to offer a review maybe to our listeners and have them text in.
Yeah, please do. We would love that. And again, we also have right now a kind of just a little fun promotion. We call it our $17 Amazon gift card challenge, which basically says if we can't beat your rates that you're currently paying right now, we'll give you a $17 Amazon gift card. And so really it's just an opportunity for us to thank someone for the opportunity to review their policy, make sure they've got good coverage. And a lot of times you are able to save people money.
Let's do that then.
Yeah, please do.
Let's do for the first 5 listeners who text the word review to our consumer advocate hotline number. Just simply text the word review to 813-670-7372. Text review, and we're going to have Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, and his team do a complete review of your homeowners, your auto, whatever type of insurance you would like him to review. Text review now to our hotline, 813-670-7372. And if you're driving, you can't text, just go to the website, consumerqb.com, submit a form. So for the first 5 listeners, we're going to make sure we get that to you. And hey, $17 Amazon gift card either way, right?
Hey, it's like another form of currency now, Amazon, right?
That's right. It really is. They got everything on there.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, if we've got time, and kind of tying in with Scott and talking about the real estate market and investing, and this is something we're seeing a ton of right now, is where a lot of people are buying investment properties and they're doing an Airbnb or a vacation rental by owner.
Big time.
So you're seeing that a ton. And I mean, I was telling you before the show, my family and myself just spent some time up at Lake Arrowhead in Georgia just being up on a lake, a lot of fun, beautiful. We did a vacation rental by owner. Well, anyway, where I'm going with it, the insurance changes drastically when you start doing that. Okay. So your traditional homeowner's policy, your traditional rental dwelling policy is going to have some really strict limitations for that. So we now have some markets that are specific. I almost call it Airbnb insurance.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're a real estate investor and you've got an Airbnb or a vacation rental by owner, and really you don't even have to be doing either of those. The easiest way to look at it, if you do any sort of weekly rental, which again can be very common along the beach.
Sure.
You really need a special type of insurance for that, because you don't want to be caught with your pants down, if you will, and saying, there's a slip and fall, somebody gets hurt, carrier comes in, they investigate, what's going on? It's a weekly rental, and then they deny a claim. Yeah. Right. And these things happen. So it's one of those things with the sharing economy we're seeing more and more of. Yep. And a lot of people still, they just don't know. People don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, you're on the hook. The same, very similar. You invite a handyman into your home. He slips and falls. He's supposed to be just putting in a TV in your office or something. Same thing.
Right. So it's all about, so we're big on protection, right? Mm-hmm. So we care about our clients. We make sure they're protected and they know. And there's some really great markets and programs specific for this type of insurance. And the rates are really pretty reasonable, especially to protect for the liability. So we definitely recommend the real estate listeners that are out there that are doing that. Again, check us out, TampaBayInsurance.com, or call your hotline, and happy to get them that info and look at that for them.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that. That's some really good information. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. We got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group, coming up in our lightning round. And when we come back, we're going to talk about our feel-good story of the day. An entire airport comes to a halt to honor a returning Vietnam veteran. Right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our lightning round. Final nuggets of advice from our expert contributors here in studio. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. That goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own and operate the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, up to 13 agents now. Very excited about the growth, doubled our number from last year and continuing to grow. So it's all about helping our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties, helping our buyers and investors negotiate the right deal. You know, it's all about the right deal. I went to a listing appointment last week and I looked at it for sale by owner. There was a $980,000 FSBO for sell by owner. And when I looked into the comps, I had Ray Hall, one of our appraiser partners, help me out with the comparables. $700,000 range is what this property should have been priced at. So if you're not working with the professional, you're potentially leaving thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table or overspending by that much amount. It's insane out there. You got to be very careful, very diligent about your process of who you choose to represent you, who you choose as a professional. And we've got the best expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and it's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, helping you avoid a lot of that commission breath that we talk about out there. So here we are in studio. Let's talk about our feel-good story of the day. We got an entire airport that halts to honor returning Vietnam veteran.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so before dying in combat in the Vietnam War in 1967, American Airman Colonel Roy Knight Jr. said goodbye to loved ones at the Dallas airport. His remains were recently returned to the very place he said goodbye for the last time. Colonel Knight's arrival and story was announced at the gate over the intercom. Then the gate agent held the microphone in his hands, taking a long pause and a deep breath, and he struggled to say what came next. Quote, "Today, the pilot of a plane bringing Colonel Knight home is his son." The entire airport fell silent. Canadian journalist Jackson Provost said that during their gate arrival, they handed out American flags to everyone at the gate. Provost said, "Incredible moment to watch. People stood quietly at the window, wiping tears away, taking in a moment that you rarely get to see," Provost said. It was a peaceful, but it was quiet, or it was beautiful, and it was a privilege to watch. Colonel Knight was buried on Saturday in Weatherford, Texas. So shout out to all of our veterans, our military out there, our active military, our first responders. We got a big event coming up as well. We're working with Captain Matt Bruce, Attorney Joe Pippin. We got an event coming up to honor our veterans and heroes on the 12th of September, so just about a month away. That's going to be a great event. American Legion Post 5 right here in South Tampa, right on Kennedy Boulevard in Del Mabry, right there at the corner. So doing a great event for our veterans and heroes. And now it's time for our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, Scott Kepler, top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom.
Take advantage of the market. There's a lot of great inventory that's out there that's available for sale. Most of it's priced right, and interest rates are really low. If you're interested in learning more about how that can impact your current mortgage, if you're thinking about refinancing, anyone on my team or myself would be happy to talk with you and see what we can do to help.
Awesome. I like it. Doug?
So I'll give you two things. One is be present. Okay. And so here's where I'm going with that. And, again, I just shared I was on vacation. I heard a podcast. I love Entree Leadership. Great podcast I heard recently. I was talking about this. And we're just in this society where we're always on our phones. We're always connected. We're always doing something. You can be at a Starbucks and nobody's talking to each other because you're just looking down. And, man, it just really hit me and really convicted me of, and I'm pretty type A and, run a business and I'm on my phone a lot, but just you don't have to do that the next time you're out where you're at. I told my wife I want to really try and ask myself, what do I see? What do I smell? What do I hear? What am I taking in? Who could I maybe just talk to in line? And you never know who's behind you even, that could maybe you can benefit them, maybe they can benefit you. So that was just something I really thought of and wanted to share, is just that be present and probably put the phone down.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
So.
That's great. And you see that so often in today. And it feels like it's almost you feel like a responsibility at some point too, especially, 9 to 5 weekdays, of course, but even on the weekends, sometimes if you're in real estate, how it goes, Scott, you got, a realtor, hey, I need this pre-approval by the, it's like you're constantly, when do you really turn off? Right.
Exactly.
So that's the challenge. I think it's important to really, and I think it really starts with the bookend of your day, so the bookend, so the morning and the evening, if you can really center there, take in some personal development, read a book or audio book, whatever you like to do for your ritual, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there was on this podcast, there was a, I don't know, neuroscientist or some kind of expert that was basically saying this is like the first time in human history because of technology that we don't get that downtime. And it's actually for your brain.
Yeah.
It's not good. And you limit yourself sometimes from the big picture ideas where you're just quiet, right? And you can just right. So we hear these things. So it's just one more encouragement, especially people with kids and families and all that. Just remember, put the phone down, put it in your bedroom and just, kind of be present. So.
For me, it's getting treatment on my body, from a former athlete perspective, I get, the reflexology done, massage and those types of things. So I think, that's a great hour for me. Turn the phone off. Boom. That's my hour. My body's going to heal. I'm going to try to, make it to where it's a position where I'm feeling good about myself. But so I've got a good negotiation strategy for today. So as you know, I teach negotiation now. A lot of what I've learned as well, giving a full shout out to Chris Voss, FBI lead international hostage negotiator, Black Swan Group. His book is Never Split the Difference. But today I wanted to talk about kind of on that same topic of, developing that slow thinking. 'Cause a lot of times we constantly are bombarded with messages and then we instantly come back with the, it's almost like talking to a teenager sometimes, right? The teenager's got an excuse for everything, but when you think about it, when you develop that slow thinking, I want to talk about developing slow thinking and slowing it down, especially in negotiations. And it's all about creating that empathy in relationships, but how to remain rational, regulate your emotions, and develop that slow response to the stimulus, and especially when you have someone that's coming at you with anger or a potentially, a situation that's going to blow up. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to keep away from knee-jerk reactions, slow down, passionate reactions. You want to pause, you want to think, and bite your tongue. And of course, not literally, but you want to bite your tongue and allow that passion to dissipate. Okay, collect your thoughts and allows you to avoid saying more than what you want. You want to stay calm, collect your thoughts, and become more circumspect. Now, Japanese businessmen have perfected this. So for years, what they've done is they've negotiated. When they're negotiating with a foreigner, they still use a translator, even though they know in the many cases exactly what that person is saying, but they're working through a translator because it gives them more time to think. It gives them more time to gather their thoughts and come up with their strategy. It forces them to be in that kind of slow reactive mood. And so when you're verbally assaulted, next time you have, it could be a counterpart, a waiter, whoever it might be, next time you're assaulted, do not counterattack. Think about it in your mind as you want to disarm that counterpart by asking calibrated questions. So a calibrated question is simply an open-ended question with a target of where you want to move that person to. And they're clinically proven to lower the heart rate. They've actually done tests of hostages or people that are in those situations. Every question you ask, it lowers the heart rate. It slows them down. It makes them more rational. And so this is how you gain control, by leading the counterpart to your end game. So for example, a great open-ended question would be, do you want to become known as someone who does not fulfill agreements? That person's going to have to rationalize that in their brain. It's going to force them to think. And the basic issue is here that when people feel that they are not in control, they develop what psychologists call the hostage mentality. So that hostage mentality, they're going to fight or flight. That's what happens when they get into that position. So train your neocortex, that part of your brain, to overcome the other parts of your brain by lowering the hostage mentalities, and ask either a calibrated question or maybe even apologize. It's about empathy here. It's not about being right or wrong. And that's how you get to a dynamic where where solutions can be found. Okay. Let's do another round here. So we've got a couple more minutes. Scott, parting words of advice.
Oh, in reference to, what we were talking about earlier about the always on the screens and not talking and being present. I think it's a great idea to, just try at least once a week, if not once a day, and no screens at the dinner table policy.
Sure. Yeah.
I think back to, when I was a kid, we would all sit down together and we'd each have to go around the table and, tell about our day, at least something, and
I love that.
Nothing wasn't, an acceptable answer,
right. Or what
nothing happened
for,
today,
what are you thankful for? Those types of things.
that kind of thing. I think it promotes that conversation and involvement,
yep.
Where you get to find out what that other person who lives in your house has done today,
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. Good one, Scott. And Doug, final words?
So we'll go on in the insurance end. We talked about it a little bit, but it's a protection review. Again, call your agent right now. If you're happy with your agent, great. Call them if you haven't heard from them in a while and say, hey, I want to sit down and spend some time and make sure we're reviewing my coverage and looking at any of their options that could be beneficial to me or save me some money.
That's right.
And again, in our opinion, and what we do, a good independent agent who's going to have multiple companies, we work with over 50 companies, is going to proactively do that for you. So, feel free to check out TampaBayInsurance.com, and we're happy to help with that.
That's right. Yeah, I like that. TampaBayInsurance.com, ScottKepler.com, two of our best expert contributors. Thanks so much for coming in. Thanks to all of our team behind the scenes, all of our board operators, producers, Jose, Rob, everybody here, James, Dimitri back there. Thanks to all of our team, all of our listeners out there. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. There's a lot of ways you can get involved. You can donate blood. Is real simple. That's a real simple, easy way to do it. You can get involved with different organizations, and we can plug you into those networks if you choose to do so. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. The Consumer Quarterback Show page is out there as well on Facebook, and link up on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you there as well. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.